Yo, yo, hey, ya, yo, hey, ya, hey, ya, ya, ha, ya, hi, ya, ya, ha, ya, hi.
I believe that being present among all their ecosystems, our wildlife, everything, we have a relationship with it all, and it's all connected. All the sense of community and sense of togetherness that I got from all the times that we spent together out on our lands, our waters, that brought me a feeling of home, proud to be from where I am. And that instills in me a sense of wanting to take care of it and show appreciation and respect and value, to learn how to continue to take care in a healthy, good way.
Everything around us is important. Everything that is living and everything around us, it's all together. Like, we don't just talk about it, it comes from our heart.
I stop and I listen to the forest. I give thanks to the Creator for allowing me to be in the presence of the forest and the wildlife, because you have to appreciate ʔuʔaałuk, that we are all one. You come to that belief when you get to the forest, you thank the Creator, asking for protection, that you're not going to damage anything or kill anybody, or that you want to be at peace with it.
Conservation doesn't mean to completely be away from a place. It means that we're repairing that relationship to this place because of the relationship that was broken historically. Sometimes things go endangered because of that broken relationship. So we almost feel bad for going into a place where, we traditionally lived. And so conservation to me is almost the opposite of what it means in the English language. To me, it's building those relationships back up so that we understand our way of life was through relationship. When you look past the words and you dig deep for the intention, it's a needed word, with understanding that the intent of it is not to break our relationship to this place, it's to protect.
In the past, our conservation was being on the land. Our teachings were never to take more than what you could carry. The moral is that we all can conserve everything we see and do, but it's not until we're on the land to understand what we want to conserve. Being on the land is the best way to learn how to conserve your food, intake your food, and knowing where it comes from. Food and ceremonial, they kind of sort of go hand in hand. The reason why we share a meal is we're sitting down, we're listening to our elder, and we're intaking the food that they prepared, they put the love into. So you're intaking everything they put into that food, and then you're also listening to the stories that they tell you. When eating that food, you're intaking all of it, all 3 or 4 directions in one sitting.
After the whaling station is shut down, we used to go there to pick blackberries in the summertime. We used to get real lots of blackberries. I remember when the late Robert Peters, they were just leaving, and he told, yeah, ʔuʔaałuk, he said, that's ʔuʔaałuk is a Nitnat language. He said there were still lots of berries, he said. I'd like to go to Namint to show where our family had a cabin up the river. The Namint River used to produce the biggest salmon in the canal. because the salmon that come back are usually 4 years old. These fish from the Nemic River were 5 years old. That's why they were the biggest salmon in the harbor.
Even through treaty, it never took away our love for the land and our responsibilities and our right to protect what is going to sustain life for our people. I fished for 14 years of my life, and I was alive through that change of when the halibut were just getting smaller and smaller, and being alive through that change of what resource extraction within our area has done and how quickly it can happen. We've heard often in stories from our elders about how there was, an abundance of you can have whatever you wanted from in this bay. Being a little girl and seeing all those clams on that beach and then not being able to harvest them and eat them. And with the contamination to our harbor here, and because of that relationship that was broken from the contamination and us not having the ability to harvest those clams, now there's nothing down below my house. And I remember listening to Bob and Vi, and he was like, you really, it's going to take a lot of love for the land, and you have to really work it, and you don't really understand that until you're alive through such a big change in your own lifetime. And I can't imagine what our elders feel like being alive through so much change.
We value what's around us, and they should too. The 5 nations on the coast, we'd sit at a table and discuss these things with somebody from forestry, and we've told them, we don't want no clear cutting on our territories, and we see it again happening now. They're supposed to leave a corridor alongside the roadsides, and they shouldn't be just like taking everything down and leaving it, bare like that. We don't know what they're doing and why they're doing it. Makes me wonder, who is in control of these people who are logging?
We're put in a corner to allow modernization to do their work, doing forestry, through logging, doing a lot of fishing, which is a lot of overfishing. The other thing too is when we talk environmentally, you look at our harbor, self-sustainability, how our previous elders enjoyed all that seafood that was available to them just minutes from their door. Look how far we have to travel now, right? Because we're not permitted to use any of our seafood in the harbor. But there's ways to address that. Get the non-native communities to treat their sewage, cleaning up the logging side of the harbor where they can do some drenching. It's those types of things in order to bring back what we need to utilize the harbor for.
We worked with that hatchery up the Alberni Inlet for 4 years, tried to bring back the salmon. Didn't have very much luck with it.
How do you look at those habitats and mitigate destruction of them? It makes me sad to think about. We all come from this place and it's so special to us, but we may not always see it for what it is because we might take it for granted being growing up around it. All my life I've always heard of thanking the tree, thanking the fish, thanking them for their life, for their energy. I think that teaching really provided me with a sense of respect and value towards even the smallest forms of life.
I hope the day comes when don't allow that anymore. I mean, enough is enough. And I'm hoping for the future generations that, you know, something's left. We should have a say in what happens around us. Because without a say, we're just allowing, you know, people to do that. And it's, you know, it's not good for anything that we're connected to. We need to teach the children, our grandchildren, that they have a voice, and don't be afraid to use it.
As a self-governing nation that is in a treaty, we need to monitor the respect for our way of life. And even though that we signed an agreement with the Crown, it doesn't take away our responsibility to our future generations. In 20 years from now, I want to say that we took responsibility and we took them seriously so that our children and grandchildren can benefit from the same things that, you know, we use to nourish our bodies today.
What I was taught and what I try and integrate with my job that I do for the government with culture, heritage, and language is that I would think it would be learning how to regrow our own food to become self-sustaining, because that not only teaches the youth how to grow food, but it also ties back to the elders where they grew up growing our own food, harvesting our own food. Just like the food will grow, the children will grow eating that food.
And we can only get there together. We can't achieve it by ourselves. We need to work together. And that's why I keep saying that it's inclusive right from here, all the way up to your elders. Normally we say 7 generations. So if you look at time, how far does 7 generations go? I believe we should double that. Because I want to look at 300 plus years to make sure that it's protected for future generations, for you, for your kids, for your grandkids, and so on.
I believe I am the way I am because of growing up here and the people that I was surrounded with and the opportunities that I was given. I really care about our land and our people, and I want us to do well. I see myself really going down a path trying to learn how to steward the land and take care of it, and that I can pass that value on to those around me, because I believe we're very lucky, and I don't want any of us to take it for granted. As easy as it may be living out here all of my life, I really see a value in monitoring and stewarding and paying attention to the health of our land and helping out where we can, because we can. We play a huge role.
It's so hard in today's world to remember that we come from great people and spiritual people, and our connection is through our way of life, and our people understood that the importance of the children, and especially our young ladies, the very importance of them to be raised with love for the land, love for their people, love for themselves, because I think our most successful thing in this world is that what we as ʔuʔaałuk can do is lift the children up. They are what our ancestors really prayed for. They prayed for their strength. They're the reason we're here, and we were the reason that somebody else was here. Our ancestors and our grandparents were here and they fought these same fights, and you know, we're still fighting those fights for our kids too.
maybe I'll tell you about the four winds and the birds and the birds. What happened was the four winds thing this way. This is ʔuʔaałuk in our language. I'll talk to you in our language, in English. It's easier for me talking in English. Okay, the four winds started arguing, and the winds got stronger and stronger, and the birds, all the birds got together and said, "We got to do something. Got to get somebody in there to calm them down." And the eagle, he was with his chest out. He wanted to be boss. He said, "I'll go first, and I'll go calm them down." He tried, and he couldn't make it to where the four winds lived. And all the birds tried, from the little hummingbirds to the robins and crows and finally got to the last birds have tried, and the seagulls stepped forward. I'll go and calm them down. And the seagull, you know how they go way up in the air, back, they die down, and you think they're going to crash into the water, but they go up and down, up and down. They finally reached where the four winds lived, and he got everything calmed down, and that's why today you can see the seagull are the only birds flying during the storm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, thank you. Can I give you a hug? Thank you for sharing
Sure.
that.
Mhm.